have the incredible pleasure of interviewing this beautiful boss babe, just telling the lovely people out here tonight that you are a master coach, master NLP coach. Yay, thanks, Tanya, we did do it. And speaker, beautiful speaker. And I was just starting to share, hey, Nicole, that I had a horrible coughing fit during your talk, on which I was totally engaged in and absolutely loving, and then felt totally embarrassed and absolutely devastated that I had to leave and I missed the end of it. But yeah.
No, all good. I'll send you the replay.
Ah, yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. So, hi, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the branch directors for Business in Heels Melbourne Inner East. I've invited Alessia on this evening to share with me. I would really like to get some other beautiful aspiring entrepreneurs like yourselves on some Facebook Lives, because it is such a great platform to share. Now, Alessia has a great story. I had the incredible pleasure of spending over 7, 8, 9 days with her, doing some great training. So I've heard all about your story, but Alessia, please introduce yourself to these beautiful women here in the group.
Sure. So I'm Alessia Trovo. I work as an empowerment coach. I specialize in helping women who believe that they're not good enough to be, do, or have what it is they truly desire. And that's actually a lot of women out there. And it used to be myself once upon a time. And actually my story is that I knew I always wanted to help people. So I started my journey with NLP, and then I progressed to clinical hypnosis, and then I progressed to coaching, and then I progressed, I finished up with kinesiology.
Wow.
And my goal was always to help women. And at the time I was with, a long-term partner, an ex-partner now, thankfully. And when I told him my idea that I wanted to work with women, he just said that that wasn't a worthwhile pursuit. That person was focused on his own dreams, and if I didn't share his dream, then any other dream wasn't worthwhile. Now, unfortunately, what happened is, because I loved this person so much, I put all of my confidence and my self-worth in that person, which was the biggest mistake of my life that I have ever made, because all of a sudden my dreams got shattered just like that, just in the flick of a finger. And that's because I was defining my self-worth by someone else's standards.
Yeah, wow.
And when that happens, you give all of your power away to someone else. And if that person doesn't believe in you, and you're using their belief in you to judge yourself, then what's left?
Yeah, true.
And what was left for me was nothing. It totally crushed my self-worth. It crushed my belief in my abilities. It crushed my belief in myself and what I was capable of doing, and also in what was actually worthwhile pursuing in this world. And I think, empowering other ladies out there and helping them overcome obstacles so that they can reach, their mission or their goal, whatever that may be, I think that is worthwhile, because, we're all part of a sisterhood, and we should all be helping each other to reach our goals. So we should all be lifting each other up. And I believe that. And that's why it's so fantastic to be part of groups such as, Business in Heels. So thank you for having me tonight.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And do you know what? I relate so closely to your experience. It's not even funny. I feel like you just told my story, because many years ago, before I did my NLP training, trainer's trainer, I was with a previous partner who told me that, you can do NLP, but it'll be more of like a hobby. Don't expect ever to make a business out of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't think so, buddy. That was the breaking point for me. But I had put all my self-confidence, all my self-worth, and all my hopes and dreams and goals into this other person, only to realize that they weren't the person for me, which was absolutely soul-crushing at the time. Greatest gift he could have given me, because it's created the power and the drive that I have today. But at the time, it is absolutely devastating. So
Absolutely.
yeah, hats off to you to, be able to move past that. So
Look, it is soul crushing, and it takes a while to recover.
yeah, absolutely.
And also because you need to reach out for help. That hurt, and that what it is, it's actually emotional trauma.
Yeah.
It's like a form of emotional abuse, particularly if it's prolonged, which in my instance it was, because it was constant put downs. And that sometimes the emotional abuse is actually sometimes worse than physical. So because it cuts really deep and it stays with you, and it becomes such a powerful belief in the back of your mind that you always second guess yourself in other areas of your life too. So it's really, really damaging. So, if anyone is going through this at the moment, it's really important to reach out to friends, reach out to coaches, reach out to other therapists. It's important to deal with that hurt and recognize that the only person who can put value on yourself is you. So
absolutely,
you are the one that holds all the power. Even if sometimes it seems like you don't, it's only because you've given it away, but you can claim that power back. And it's so crucial that you do, because if you don't, you're going to be really dissatisfied in life, and you're not going to live up, to what you expected for yourself and to best standards that, for you.
absolutely.
And you're not going to be fulfilled. And we're all here on this earth to live a happy and fulfilled life. And, that's what we're all out here to achieve.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are here for a purpose. We are given our dreams and our goals for a reason. And it's really up to us to make it happen. And giving other people the power to make it happen for us is really giving away our self-worth, giving away our credibility, and giving away our gift. And that, especially as women, is a really hard pill to swallow, because we've been taught ever since we were little to be polite and pleasant and accepting and gracious. And I 100% believe that we should be those things. But there's nothing wrong with fiercely going after your goals and not being apologetic for it. Like, do not apologize for the fact that you want better for your life.
Absolutely. So well said, Kat. So well said.
Thank you, darling. So, Alessia, you're an empowerment coach. What does an empowerment coach do specifically for women in business? Like, if I was somebody who wanted to come and see an empowerment coach, why would I come and see you, for example?
Well, first of all, empowerment means different things to different ladies. So empowerment for one lady might be the ability to speak up in the workplace, because she would like to have her ideas heard and her ideas to be valued. So that could be empowerment to that specific lady. So in that example, we would work on her confidence, we would work on communication, on her ability to communicate her ideas and her persuasiveness. But it really comes down all the time, I see, and I find it comes down to self-worth. It's, it's in here, and it's about building that up. And of course, we're all humans, so we are like onions, so we have a lot of layers.
That we do.
So it might mean that we have to peel back a couple of layers to build on that self-worth, right? So it might be that person has had some emotional trauma in the past that needs to be addressed. So every person is unique. Every person has, different amounts of baggage, different brands of baggage that needs to be dealt with to really get to the core. So empowerment instead to another lady, it might be about feeling comfortable in her own skin. So another part of my background that was a huge challenge for me as I was growing up was I had like 20 years of negative self-esteem in terms of body image. Severely negative body image issues, to the point where I couldn't look in the mirror at myself, like if I was standing in the mirror naked. Like I could not look. Like my partner would have to forcibly turn my head to look in the mirror because I couldn't do it. I had so much self-loathing. Like when I was going to school and in high school, I was like the European girl with all the curves, and back then in the early 90s, that the curves weren't cool. J-Lo wasn't around yet.
That's it. Kim Kardashian and J-Lo didn't set the trend yet.
That's right. Where were they when we needed them?
Exactly.
So I got a lot of, well, I was bullied for that, and a lot of name calling, and that particularly at the age when you're a teenager, like self-esteem, it's so fragile.
It is.
It's so fragile. But for me, it actually started when I was 7. A family member would always comment on the fact that I was tubby, and I needed to make sure I lost weight, because if I was an adult and I was overweight, no one would want to marry me. Just terrible. So like that negativity started at a really, really young age for me. So at about the age of 28, I had, probably call it a bit of a nervous breakdown. Work was too much, and I reached, I guess, the pinnacle of, well, pinnacle is not the word, but I reached the bottom of the pit in terms of self-loathing. Like my negative body image became so bad that I wouldn't even go out to social events, because I was like, oh, what am I going to wear? No one's going to want to look at me. People won't want to come and talk to me. I'm too ugly. I'm too fat. And in hindsight, it's not like I was, I would be what most people would term, normal, like normal weight. But I saw myself as huge, and I saw myself as unlovable. And again, it always links into self-worth. You've given much more weight to someone else's opinion of you than what you have yourself.
Oh, that's so,
and that's really dangerous.
Yeah.
That is so dangerous, because that can lead to eating disorders. It can lead to self-harm, which I did in high school. It can lead to even more fatal outcomes.
Absolutely.
So, it's so important to develop self-love for ourselves, and make sure that we don't give our power away.
Absolutely. Just putting it out there. Today is also Are You OK Day. So if you need support, like Alessia said, talk to a coach, talk to a friend, talk to a mentor, but talk to somebody, guys. And you touched on something that's, I find, so pivotal, and I've been hearing this message over and over again for the past week, and it's somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business. It's their business.
Exactly.
What they think of you, what they think of your goals and dreams, has nothing to do with you, because it's their thoughts. And it took a while to sink in, and I'm like, but they're saying that about me. But I'm like, but no, hang on. That's based on their version of life and their goals and their values and their experiences and their beliefs. It's got nothing to do with me. It's theirs, and they can hold on to it.
Correct.
And I'm going to keep my own, because I put more weight on it. But with working with an empowerment coach, what kind of outcomes would people get from that? Because I know you've spoken about why they would come to see you with the self-worth and things, but how do people measure their success of working with an empowerment coach?
It really depends on what goal it is they're working towards. So whether it is being comfortable in their own skin, whether it's having the ability to speak up at a meeting at work, or whether it's feeling comfortable actually doing cold calling in their business. That might be something that's really core to their business, but they're not comfortable doing it. So it really depends on what that lady's metric or definition of success is for them. And then it's about really finding the right strategies appropriate for them and for their issue, or for the goal that they want to reach. And it's really about, I say, it's about educating. It's about inspiring and transforming.
Awesome.
So first we want to educate on why have you gotten to the place where you are now? Like, is it bad beliefs? Is it, emotional trauma? Is it bad behaviors? Perhaps it's bad learned behaviors. So it depends where we need to make the changes. Sometimes it might just be a little tweak. Sometimes it's like a massive overhaul. because we might need to get rid of some really old, stale beliefs that they adopted, you know, when they were little, or it might be changing behaviors that they've taken on recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really individual and unique to every person. It's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
It never is. So, you know, for some people, it might just be, you know, 3 sessions and they're done. For some people, if it's like, you know, perhaps a lifetime of emotional abuse, well, it's going to take a bit longer. But the important thing is that, you know, the client, that the lady sees progress, and it's not just external progress as much as it is internal, because it all comes back to like the way you feel. So, and those, you can start noticing those changes. Like initially it might be subtle changes, but then it's really creating that awareness in the person, that they'll stop and think, oh my God, I've just done something that I never would have done before.
Yeah.
So, you know, you hear a lot these days that people are just like, you know, heads on sticks, just walking around, because we have become somewhat disconnected with our feelings and our emotions, and that's what I love with like the kinesiology. So I really like to blend all the modalities that I use in together, because they do interlink and they're very powerful. So whilst with the NLP and the hypnosis, I can really target sort of you know, the subconscious, but we can tap into the emotions and the feelings with the kinesiology.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So I find it very powerful. So it's a really, I like to take a really holistic approach, and I like to say holistic with a W. Well, let's see, W. Because I'm treating the person as a whole. I'm not just treating like a part of, you know, I like to address not just the mind, but, you know, also the body, because we do look at sort of like how physiology plays a part of it, but also then the emotional part of it. So it's really important for me to address all 3, because then I know that everything is working in harmony.
Yeah, absolutely.
So success really is measured by their goal and getting closer to their goal, not just from a physical, like an outward external milestones, but more so internal progression.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you also measure based on how somebody's feeling, because we can often go, oh, I physically reached this goal. Like, for example, in my business, like I've reached a certain amount of customers, or I've reached a certain amount of cash flow, I've reached a certain amount of time in my business, or I can now step away from it. But we forget the importance of how does that make you feel once you've done that, because there's no point in having those goals and reaching those milestones and having that success if you feel awful inside, if you're stressed out, if you're in pain emotionally, physically, if your relationship is falling apart, if your family life is falling apart. What is the point of having the success if every other area of your life is then suffering because of it? So I love that you work on the kinesiology, the emotional side of things, and you carry it as a whole. I was going to do it that way, but I'm like, oh, is that West Side? Yeah, go. as a holistic, I love that, holistic with a W approach. That's awesome. So, Alessia, tell us, how do we get in contact with you if working with you or working with a empowerment coach is something that we are ready to have a chat about? Maybe not necessarily ready to take that step forward and go, yes, I want to work with a empowerment coach. So what is the first step as far as opening that conversation and saying, I'm struggling with this in my business, or I could really use an empowerment coach for this an area? It doesn't have to be business, because
absolutely,
when you're in business,
any area in life,
everything plays a part. So how do we get in contact with you?
Okay, well, best way, since we're all on Facebook, reach out through Facebook. My Facebook page is Alessia Trovo Empowerment Coach. So you can find me there on Facebook. Other ways, I am on Instagram, Alessia Trovo Empowerment Coach as well. So you can find me through those 2 methods. Shoot me a message or give me a call. Happy to have a chat and see how we can work together. I do work as a team. We're working as a group of 2. I work as a facilitator. I believe that everyone has all the resources and the answers already in them. They just need someone to guide them.
Absolutely.
So, sometimes it's, when we try and work on things ourselves, sometimes you can't see the forest from the trees.
Yeah.
And you need someone to guide you through. That's why we go to school. We have teachers that guide us through everything we need to learn. And, it's the same when we might have a mentor at work or in the business place. We have someone to guide us through and help us evolve to the next level. And it's no different with a coach. We help you evolve to the next level, to where you want to get to. So we work together, but we are merely just facilitators and guiding you through and helping you with all the techniques and, with everything that we've learned as coaches and all the tools and techniques and life experience that we have. We navigate you through the rough seas.
Yeah, beautiful. And this is, what empowerment is all about. It's putting the steering wheel in somebody's hand and say, I'm just the driving instructor. I'm just here to help you. You do the work, but I'm here to make sure that we don't hit that brick wall at 100 miles an hour. I'm here that we don't make sure we don't crash. I will hit the brakes if we need to, but I'm here to support you. So I love that. That's great.
Absolutely. And I like to say it as, I'm there holding your hand, because I've been through the journey myself. I know how scary it can be. I've been to the bottom of the pit, and I've come out of it. And so I know even just how scary it is, even just how vulnerable you feel, and the courage it takes to actually take the first step and say, okay, enough's enough. I want to change my life now, and I need help.
Yeah.
And, so many people, and I'm guilty of this. I've done it too, that you keep thinking, no, I can do it. And then, days go by, weeks go by, months go by, and you're still in the same shitty predicament.
Mm-hmm.
And, as much as you're trying to change, you just don't have the tools, and you can't see too far in front of you, because you're just so clouded with all the bad stuff that's going on that you can't see what the right direction is. So it's so important to reach out.
Absolutely. And fear can be very foggy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. We're going to leave it there for now.
My pleasure.
And
thanks again, everyone, for your patience for technical difficulties on my side. So Catherine's on mine. Apologies. But I've learned a lot about Facebook Live now. So,
I've done a couple of things.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thanks to everybody for your patience. You guys are incredible. Thanks for watching. If I will happily bring Alessia back for some more beautiful tips, tricks, and tools. She is an incredible speaker, as you've seen. She's so confident. She knows her stuff. She knows what she's about, which is exactly what you need if you're working with an empowerment coach. So ladies, we are about connecting. We are about sharing. We want to know your story. Reach out to Kaz or myself. If you want to jump on a live, I think it would be great value for all of you. And yeah, reach out to Alessia. Have a chat. Guys, what's the harm in having a chat? Even if you're not ready to have some gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out. Say hello, even just connect. Send me a little wave. And I'm always happy to help. Like I said, life's not a journey that you have to go through it alone. There are so many people out there that are willing to help. And like I said earlier, it's all about lifting each other up, particularly us ladies. We're at a time where we need to do that, because the world needs more kindness and softness and more nurturing. So it's really important that we all help each other out. So I wish you all an empowered life and a wonderful evening. And thank you so much for having me live, Kat.
Thank you, lovely. I really appreciate it. Definitely going to be replaying this, listening for that gold, because there is a lot of it. We will 100% bring Alessia back for some future interviews. I would like to actually make it a regular thing to bring beautiful women like yourself on, and if I can steal her maybe a couple of times a year for some lives and maybe once or twice for an event. Let's see how much value we can take out of it.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gents. And thank you, Kat. Have a great night, everyone.
You too. See you guys. Mwah. Lots of love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.